Welcome to Kingdoms TV, where all your nerdy dreams come true. Before Commander Legends came out, we wanted to try Commander Sealed League. It was a fun experiment, and we had some really unique games that we wouldn't have had otherwise. With Commander Legends out now, we are starting with 8 Commander Legends packs, and we will make a deck from those cards. We have included the pack opening of the commanders we got, the gameplay after we made our decks, and opening of the additional packs we will add to our card pool for next week's game. This week we opened Core 2020 and a Core 2021 packs. I will include timestamps in the description if you'd like to jump to a specific part of the video. If you like this or other nerdy content, subscribe to our channel as we release videos every week. Let's see what commanders we open in our Commander Legends packs. Ghost of Ramirez de Pietro. So he can't be blocked by creatures with toughness 3 or greater. When he deals combat damage to a player, choose up to one target card in a graveyard that was discarded or put there from a library this turn. Put that card into its owner's hand.
Rare legend I got was Averna, the Chaos Bloom. As you cascade, you may put a land card from among the exiled cards onto the battlefield tapped. And I also got Rebek, Architect of Ascension. 4 cost 3/4 artifacts you control have protection from each converted mana cost among artifacts you control.
Kediss, the Emberclaw Familiar. Whenever a commander you control deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. Brenelin, the Moon Kraken. Whenever it enters the battlefield or whenever you cast a spell, converted mana costs 6 or more. You can bounce non-land permanent to its owner's hand.
I got Tormod, the Desecrator. He's a 4 mana 4/2. When one or more cards leaves your graveyard, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. The other one is Anara. As long as it's your turn, commanders you control have indestructible, and it's a 4 mana 4/4.
So Halana is a 3/4 reach. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2 colorless. When you do, that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Balthus, the Shadowcat Familiar. Commanders you control have Menace and Death Touch.
Tuya, Bearclaw, dual colors. 2/2, whenever she attacks, it gets +X till the end of turn, where X is the greatest power among other creatures you control. And then I also got Ghost of Ramirez de Pietro and the Prismatic Piper.
I got an Averna as well. Kengi, Skyward,
Kengi.
Bird Wizard.
Did you pronounce it Kengi?
Kengi.
I think I am going to always pronounce it that way. That sounds way better than kanji, which is what I've usually said.
Kanji! I actually love kanji.
I see either way, yeah.
Because I'm a weeb, you know? But,
So I actually have 3 commanders in this pack. Like we said, I've got a foil turtle, Archelos, the Goon Mystic. He costs 1, a black, a green, and a blue for a 2/4. As long as he is tapped, other permanents enter the battlefield tapped. As long as he is untapped, other permanents enter the battlefield untapped. Next up is the Lease, Reverent Medium. She costs 5 mana, 3, a black, and a white for a 3/4. At the beginning of each end step, create X 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. Then Belbay, Corrupted Observer, black and a green for a 2/2. At the beginning of each player's post-combat main phase, that player adds 2 colorless for each of your opponents who lost life this turn.
got Alaru, Solemn Ritualist, enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures. Whenever a non-token creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, create a 1/1 spirit with flying. Partner 3/3.
Quain, Itinerant Meddler, 1/3. Tap it and each player may draw a card, then each player who drew a card this way gains 1 life. Then I got the 0-drop partner.
Yes.
First strike, Menace, Trample, 0/1. Rograk, Son of Roga.
Felborka. It says, note the converted mana cost of each card as it's put into exile, and his power is equal to the greatest number noted for it this turn. So beginning your upkeep, you can exile the top card of your library, and you can play that card this turn. And he's star 5.
My 2 commanders for this pack are Togo, Goblin Weaponsmith. He's 2 and a red for a 2/2.
So Slurk enters the battlefield with 5 1/1 counters. When Slurk or another creature controlled dies, if it had a counter on it, put a 1/1 counter on each creature control that has a 1/1 counter on it. And then I got another familiar, Kediss.
We got Emoti, Celebrant of Bounty. Has Cascade. Spells with converted mana cost 6 or greater have Cascade. Galanra, Collar of Wirewood. Partner, tap to add green. When you spend this mana to cast a spell with converted mana cost 6 or greater, draw a card as partner. And I got a foil Elena Cassid Trapper.
Alharu is my uncommon commander.
And then the other one you got was another Kengi, right?
Yep. My third one.
Numa Jiraga Chieftain, 3 mana, 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay XX. When you do, distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target elves. And then Abomination of Llanowar is a 3 mana, 1 black and a green for a star Vigilance Menace. Power and toughness equal to the number of elves you control plus the number of elf cards in your graveyard. Commanders are, I got a repeat of one that John got, the one that cares about 6 CMC. Blim, Comedic Genius, 4 mana, 2 a black and a red for a 4/3 flying. When he deals combat damage to a player, that player gains control of target permanent you control. Then each player loses life and discards cards equal to the number of permanents they control but do not own.
So Radiant, tap another untapped creature you controlled flying. Radiant gets protection from any color.
And then I got Radiant as well. Miara, Thorn of the Glade, Elf Scout. Whenever Miara or another elf you control dies, you may pay 1 and 1 life. If you do, draw a card.
Is Lisa, Shroud of Dusk. Rather than pay 2 for each previous time you cast it from the command zone this game, pay 2 life instead that many times. 5/5 flying lifelink for 5. Whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 2 life. And I got Slurk, All Ingesting, Miara, we already explained that one. Akroma, flying First Strike, Vigilance, Trample. Beginning of each combat, till end of turn, each other creature you control gets 1/1 if it has flying, 1/1 if it has First Strike, and so on for Double Strike, Death Touch, and all those other things. And she herself has Partner. 6/6 drop for 7.
Pretty sure we've discussed Kediss to death. Lacian, he's a 6 mana 3/6 legendary with Partner. Tap X untapped artifacts you control. Look at the top X cards of your library. Put one of those into your hand and the rest into your graveyard.
Got a Thalise, which we've looked at, and we also got Anara.
Lathiel, the Bounteous Dawn. It's a 2/2 lifelink. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, distribute up to that many 1/1 counters among any number of other target creatures. And then I also got a Thalise. And then Jared Carthelian, True Heir, Naya Colors 3/3. When he enters the battlefield, target opponent becomes the monarch. You can't become the monarch this turn. And if damage would be dealt to him while you're the monarch, prevent that damage, put that many 1/1 counters on him. Kodama of the East Tree is OP. Reach, 6/6 for 6 mana. Whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, if it wasn't put onto the battlefield with this ability, you may put a permanent card with equal or lesser converted mana cost from your hand onto the battlefield. And then they decided to throw a Partner on there as well.
Yeah. I got Dargo the Shipwrecker, Giant Pirate, 7/5 for a 7 drop. An additional cost to casting him, you can sacrifice artifacts and or creatures, and it costs 2 less for each one that you sacrifice. And I got Siani, 3/2 flying for 4. Whenever he attacks, scry X, where X is the number of attacking creatures with flying.
Got another Anara. Armix, Filigree Thrasher, 3 mana 3/2. When it attacks, you may discard a card. When you do, target creature defending player controls gets -X/-X into turn, where X is the number of artifacts you control plus the number of artifact cards in your graveyard.
Isior, 1/3 flyer for 2. Spells your opponents cast that target one or more commanders you control, costs 3 more to cast. I got my own Togo as well. We already talked about Siani. Got an Armix as well. Zara, flying 4/3. When she attacks, look at the defending player's hand. You may put a creature card from it into the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. Player or planeswalker they control. Return it to that owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step.
I also got Esior, Wardering Familiar, and Dargo Shipwrecker.
Tormod, Prava the Steel Legion. Creature tokens on my turn get 1/4, and that's fun. 3 and a white gets me a 1/1 white soldier creature token, so he's got Partner.
We've already seen those one a few times, but this is the Etched Foil Thalise. Halana, red Partner. Captain Vargas Rat, 2 mana, blue and a red for a 1/1. He's an orc pirate. Whenever he attacks, pirates you control get +1/+1 until end of turn for each time you've cast a commander from the
For our game this week, Spencer has chosen Miara, Thorn of the Glade, and Kodama of the East Tree. His starting hand includes Hunter's Insight, Jalum Tome, Sisse's Ring, Wildheart Invoker, 2 swamps, and a forest. John has chosen Akroma, Vision of Ixidor, and Kediss, Emberclaw Familiar. His starting hand includes Meteoric Mace, Path of Ancestry, 4 plains, and a mountain. Dave has chosen Archelos, Lagoon Mystic. His starting hand includes Findhorn Elves, Belby Corrupted Observer, Anara Wolvid Familiar, an island, a swamp, and 2 forests. Carlos has chosen Halana Kessig Ranger and Armix Filigree Thrasher. His starting hand includes Fleshbag Marauder, Monstrous Onslaught, Finclad Fugitives, 2 swamps, and 2 forests. With that, let's jump into our game.
Draw for turn, play a swamp. then pass.
I will draw for turn. I'll put Path of Ancestry in tapped and pass.
Draw for turn. And I will Forest, Fintorn Elves, and pass.
Draw a card, play a forest, and pass.
Draw, play Opal Palace, and cast Miara, Thorn of the Glade. I'll pass turn after that.
I will draw for turn. Play a Plains. I will cast Kediss, Emberclaw, Familiar. I'll put that on the bottom. Pass.
Draw. Sweat. I will cast Belby, Corrupt Observer. I will then attack Carlos only because he doesn't have a blocker. At the beginning of my post-combat main phase, I will add 2 colorless for each of my opponents who lost life this turn, and so then I will cast Mask of Memory with the 2 colorless mana. I will pass the turn.
Draw a card, play swamp, and pass the turn.
Draw, play a Forest, and I'll cast Jalem Tome. Pass the turn.
I'll draw for turn. Play Mountain for turn. And then I will poke Carlos. And then Dave and Spencer take 1 and pass.
Okay. Kill us all with his 1/1 lizard.
I'll untap and I'll draw. Then I will equip Mask of Memory to Belby, and I will attack John for 2.
Take it.
And then I will draw 2 cards and discard a card because I dealt combat damage to a player. Discard a Nara Wolved Familiar, and then I will get 2 mana, and I will cast my commander. And I have 1 floating. I will move it to my command, and I'll pass the turn.
Draw a card, play a forest, cast Fleshbag Marauder,
Oh.
That flashback.
and I'm done.
Draw for turn. Play Sisay's Ring, and then I'll pass the turn.
Draw for turn. Plains for turn. Let's recast this guy. Ciao. Scry 1.
I will
And then pass.
untap, and I will draw. I will attack. I'll attack my commander, Spencer, and a 2/2 at John.
I'll take the 2.
Okay, and then so I'll draw 2 and discard 1. Discard our Malary Sphere. And then second main phase, 2 of my opponents lost life, and so I will gain 4 colorless mana, and I will cast Maelstrom Colossus, Cascade. Azure Fleet Admiral. When it enters the battlefield, I become the Monarch, and it can't be blocked by creatures the Monarch controls. Those will enter tap, draw for the end of my turn, and then I'm done.
Draw a card,
No,
Play this.
choose 2 colors.
tapped swamp, basics, seems sad. Cast the Armix Filigree Thrasher, and pass the turn.
Tap and draw. Play a tapped Forest. I will cast Kodama of the East Tree. I'll pass.
Play,
Kodama is tapped.
I will poke Dave.
And the Monarchy.
Everyone else gets pinged for 1, so you'll get 4 mana.
I will cast Akroma.
Key
Scry 1.
things.
Pass turn.
I will untap. I will draw for turn. Prosperous Pirate. He creates 2 treasure tokens when he enters the battlefield. Go to combat. 2 commander damage at Spencer. Belbe at John. I will send this 3/3 at Carlos. And I will also send this 7/7 at 9 at John, 2 commander at Spencer, and 3 at Carlos. I will draw 2 and discard 1. And then I will add 6 mana. I will cast a Mindless Automaton with 2 more floating, and then a Armory of Arrows. I will then pass my turn and draw for the Monarchy.
Draw a card. Alright, John, I just don't want to take 6 from the Akroma. I'm going to kill your little dude. I have to discard a card, though. This Spectral Searchlight, so it gets -2/-2. And then you take 3, and then my second main, I'll get 2 mana. We'll cast Finclade Fugitives. 7/4 can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and it has Encore 5. We'll play a Forest and play tapped, and best turn.
Draw for turn. Play a Forest tapped. Kodama triggers. Lets me put another Forest into play tapped. Glint Leaf Winnower. When that enters the battlefield, I destroy target non-elf creature whose power and toughness aren't equal. I'm going to destroy the turtle. And then that also triggers Kodama. With the Kodama trigger, I'll put Wildheart Invoker into play. Yeah, I'll just pass.
Draw for turn. 2, 4, 6. We'll recast him. Dave, I'll fly you for 6. Carlos and Spencer will take 6. Monarch me, dog. Okay, my end step. Draw a card. And I will discard and then pass.
I will draw a land. I will equip Armory of Arrow to the Mindless Automaton. So now when it attacks, it gets a +1/+1 counter. I will attach the mask to the Azure Fleet Admiral. I will go to combat. attack Spencer with a 7/7. I'll attack John, the 3/3 that cannot be blocked by the player that's the monarch. Attack Carlos, where it'll be a 3/3 after the attack trigger resolves and gives it a counter.
I'll take the 7.
I'll take 3.
Draw 2 cards and discard a card. I'll get 6 mana, spend 3 of it for a command sphere. Use the remaining 3 to cast another Prosperous Pirates. Pass the turn and draw for monarch.
Draw a card. Cast Monstrous Onslaught. Deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control, which is 7. I think I choose Belby Kediss. And I'll choose your guy that can attack the monarch.
Unblockable.
So then I will cast Forceful Denial, and I'll trigger Cascade. Cost 4 though. So when Merchant Raiders or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, tap up to 1 target creature. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as you control Merchant Raiders. I will tap Akroma.
I will then attack you, Dave, with my 3/2. I will discard Hero's Blade, and I'll give Belby -3/-3.
I'm gonna block with one of my 3/4 pirates.
Your turn.
Draw for turn. Go to combat. Swing at John for 6.
I will take the 6.
Before damage is dealt, I'm going to cast Hunter's Insight. Choose him, so when he deals combat damage to you, I draw that many cards. So I'll draw 6 cards. Play a Swamp, which will trigger Kodama for another Swamp. Then I will play Entourage of Trest, which will trigger Kodama. Allow me to play Bio Waste Blob. When this enters the battlefield, I become the Monarch, and he can block an additional creature as long as I'm the Monarch. Then I will cast Commander's Sphere, which will trigger Kodama of the East Tree. And I will put Moss Diamond into play. And he's OP. Pass the turn and draw for the Monarch.
Draw for turn. I will cast Meteoric Mace. The equipped creature gets 4/0 and trample, equipped for 4. And Cascade. I get to cast Angelic Armaments. The equipped creature gets 2/2, has flying, and is a white angel in addition to its other colors and types. Pass.
I will draw. I will go to combat, and I will attack John. It'll be a 4/4 by the time we resolve attacks. And then I will attack Spencer with a creature unblockable versus Monarch.
I will take the 4.
And then I will draw 2 cards and discard 1. Play my land for turn. I will cast Grove Tracker, human pirate. So it'll trigger the Raiders. Tap a creature. That creature doesn't untap as long as I control the Raiders. And then I will cast a Universal Solvent. And I will pass the turn and draw off of Monarch.
Draw a card. I'll play Sisay's Ring, and I'll cast Defiant Salvager. And I'll be done.
Draw for turn. Play a Forest. Don't have another one to play with Kodama, so I'll use Opal Palace to recast my commanders. Comes in with 2 counters because it's been cast twice now. That'll trigger Kodama. I'll put Elvish Visionary onto the battlefield and draw a card from that. I will cast Elvish Doomsayer, and that will trigger Kodama, and I will play a Swamp that I just drew. I'll pass.
Draw for turn. Okay, I'll play a Mountain for turn. I'll move to equip both of my equipment on Kediss. I will move to combat phase. We'll swing for Dave, getting a combat since he has partner, flying, and trample. He gets 3/3. 10 at Dave, commander damage.
That escalated quickly. Just did 30 total damage, John.
Look at me go!
That's crazy.
I will move to end step and draw, and I'll pass turn.
I will draw for turn. You're going to draw a card with the Automaton. I'll cast Interpret the Signs. I'll scry 3. Then I'll reveal the top card of my deck and draw cards equal to its converted mana cost. Yeah, I will scry top, bottom, bottom. I'll reveal Fall from Favor. And so I will draw 3 cards, including Fall from Favor. I will attack John for 5, 6. I will become the Monarch. I will draw 2, discard 1. Pass my turn and draw off the Monarch. And then I'll need to discard 2 cards.
Draw for turn. Drew 1 land this game. I'm gonna cast Halana. Thankfully has reach. I'll just do nothing this game and pass.
Draw for turn. And upkeep, I get 2 more tokens. I will cast Fleshbag Marauder. And I will sacrifice Elvish Doomslayer, so each opponent discards a card. And I will pay 1 and 1 life to draw a card. with Miara.
I'm sacrificing the
That's to be
Trove
a
Tracker. I will draw from the Trove Tracker before I discard from your
Okay.
trigger.
Sacrifice Akroma.
Use Jalum Tome to draw a card, and then discard a card. I feel like I have to kill John here. I will send these at you. A 4/4, a 6/6, and a 4/3. And then 9 at John.
Block your commander with a 7/7. Block your 4/3 with 3/4. I will not block your
4/4.
correct.
Yeah, before damage, I will cast Wild Size to give him +2/+2 and trample. And I draw a card.
Ghastly Demise Kodama in response. Destroy target non-black creature if its toughness is less than or equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. These will trade.
Second main, I will cast the Sarasir, and then I will move to end step and draw from Monarch and pass turn.
I'll untap. I'll draw. I will encore this guy. I will get 2 of him. Both of these will tap a blob. I will go to combat, attack each Carlos and Spencer with the required trackers. Then I will attack Spencer. I will attack you with a 7/7, a 4/4, a 3/4, a 2/4, a 2/2, and a 3/3. With the baseline being if you block my 3 biggest guys, the 3, the 4, and the 7, you'll still take 7.
In response, I'm going to tap this for black mana and then sacrifice it to draw a card, the Commander Sphere. I will sack Elvish Visionary to that and to scry 1.
yeah.
And I will trigger that on the bottom, and then I will pay 1 and 1 life to draw. That doesn't really help, but I can sack more elves to scry. So I draw, sack these 2, then I'll sack this to scry again. Block the Colossus with all 3 of these, so they trade.
Draw a card because I block your dude.
Your
Okay, so
Colossus
draw off
will
the blocked
die.
guy.
The tapper dude. I'm gonna attempt to murder it.
That's fine. And then I'll draw off the pirate. Then I'll draw 2 and discard 1. Cast a 4/4. Makes my commander indestructible on my turn. Sacrifice the encore token, which will draw me a card, and I will draw from. I'll need to discard 2.
Draw a card. I'm gonna play the alternate reality Inara, and I'm gonna trigger Halana and shoot your Inara with mine. Deals damage
Right,
equal
it
to
deals
its
damage.
power. Yep. Yeah, I attack you for 10. And I'll be the Monarch for 1 time in the game before I die. And go to end step, draw a card, and it's your turn.
Untap, draw for turn. I will cast Sphinx of the Second Sun. Fall for favor your untapped creature. Tapped and stays tapped, unless you are the monk. Then I will go to combat to 5 when it attacks. So that is going to be 5, 11.
I got nothing.
And then triggers on damage, I will draw 2 and discard 1. After my main phase, between my main phase 2 and my end step, I will pass to my second beginning phase. Tap, nothing on the upkeep. I will draw, go to end phase, draw from the monarch, discard 2.
I will help you with that process and take my turn and respectfully concede. Good job.
One of our shortest games, but
Yeah.
also one of our highest action games. So just want to toot the horn of the way we started, right? I think this was a great idea. I think this is a great set for doing this with. It's so awesome. 2020, you said, Carlos?
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, shoot. You rock the Desecrated.
No way.
No.
That's amazing.
No.
He's the new commander. Kodama's in the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stupid. Drakuseth.
Are you in red?
This guy's gonna
Oh,
not this week, but
Not yet.
that's
That
not
could
a game.
change, but it's still 2020.
whoa, where's the front? What the heck? I got Karavik the Spiteful. Other creatures get -1/-1. Got a Baron.
Is it?
Nice.
Sweet.
This one.
Yeah.
If we compare this pool of cards to our last pool of cards, you can tell that Commander Legends was made for a limited format. We all had enough ramp, card draw, and payoff cards that made our decks feel like Commander decks versus a random sealed pool. There are many different ways you can set up your Commander Sealed League, but whatever you do, I suggest you give it a try if you can. It's a ton of fun. What do you like or dislike about our league? I'd love to hear in the comments down below. If you'd like to support us so we can continue to make this and other new content, all you need to do is like this video and subscribe to our channel. It means a lot. And as always, thanks for watching.